What's up, everyone? Tyler DeLuca here, and today's video is looking a little bit different, right? It's just me. I'm calling the ISO today. I'm currently filming this. It is past 11 p.m. at night. I just got back from an Oklahoma football game, and tonight we got some big news. You're likely seeing this in the morning on the 8th of September, but I wanted to film this tonight, and I wanted to give my raw reactions because we got some major breaking news in the WNBA tonight, and I have some thoughts on it, both on what we've seen and where we go from here. So if you haven't seen earlier today, today being the 7th, Angel Reese puts up this tweet and announces that due to a wrist injury, her season is now over. She'll be back for Unrivaled in the winter, which I cannot wait to see her back and continuing to grow her game and so many of the pieces that we saw in this season, how they can continue to grow. But I mean, it's such a disappointing way to end truly one of the greatest rookie seasons the WNBA has ever seen. So you can see it there. I mean, just she'll be on the sidelines cheering them on. She'll be back for Unrivaled. It's a wrist injury that as according to other reports, it happened after during the game after an M1, and she finished the game out. And I don't really expect much else from Angel Reese because that is the type of player that she is. She is a dog in the truest way of the term. Angel Reese is a dog. So to find out that she finished the game in what was a season-ending injury, obviously not a ton of time left in this season, but I'm just not surprised because that's what we've come to know from Angel Reese. And I wanted to. We're going to dive in later into what's next for the Sky as the race for 8th continues as we wind down this WNBA season and enter into the postseason. We're going to look at the standings and everything, but before we do that, we need to contextualize the season that Angel Reese just had. Because like I said, it is one of the greatest WNBA rookie seasons, rookie campaigns, debuts in the league that we have ever seen. She averaged a double-double, 13 and 13, and that's just the production on the stats. That's not even getting into defensive impact or things like that. And frankly, if you can't say that this was one of the greatest rookie seasons that you've seen, I think you need to check your biases and learn to enjoy basketball a little bit more. Because does Angel Reese have flaws to her game? Yes, of course. Of course. I'm sure she'd tell you that. Yet, this was still one of the greatest rookie campaigns we have ever seen. And I think that, first off, every player has flaws to their game. Asia Wilson, Caitlin Clark, Brianna Stewart, all these players. There has never been a perfect basketball player. Yes, she is flawed, and that is okay. And that doesn't take away from the insane production that she was able to put up, especially on the glass this season. And I think so much of it has been lost in the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, the dynamics, the societal and racial dynamics that come into play with that, and so many different things that have gone into, I mean, both this Rookie of the Year race and really since these two players first interacted, in public eye. I know that they played each other in the Big Ten and whatnot, but ever since that national championship game when everything changed. But ultimately, if you can't say that this rookie season from Angel Reese, and this is, if you can't say that this is one of the greatest rookie seasons in WNBA history, you're being dishonest. You're being dishonest. And so I hope that at some point, maybe it's not yet, maybe I'm jumping the gun with it, but I hope at some point everyone can take a step back, no matter what side of this you're on, or if you're on a side or whatever. I hope at some point we can take a step back and acknowledge and admire the production and the impact that Angel Reese had on the Chicago Sky this season. And that's coming from Caitlin Clark is my Rookie of the Year. And I like these are two of the best rookie seasons we have ever seen, and they just happen to happen in the same season. But man, I mean, this is Angel Reese has a case, I would say, for second team All WNBA. With the rebound production, I mean, look, I got some of the records here. Like, from Underdog on Twitter. 26 double-double. League leader, rookie record. 13 rebounds, mentioned that. Total rebounds, single season record. 3 consecutive games with 20 rebounds. The consistency that Angel Reese was able to find with attacking the boards has been remarkable in her WNBA debut season. It has been absolutely unheard of. Think about the greats. We talked about this on post-game shows before. Think about the greats that have played in this league. When you think of the best, the GOATs, the Mount Rushmores, the top 25s, almost all of those players were banging down low. They were going after rebounds. They were forwards. They were bigs. They were going after rebounds, and none of them have done what Angel Reese has done. And I completely understand the efficiency with shooting the ball and whatnot, but you cannot ignore that she is doing things that have never been done before. And I just hope at some point throughout all of this chaos, we can take a step back. Like I said, maybe it's after the season. Maybe it's years down the road. I hope we can take a step back and understand the greatness that we saw from this rookie class this season. Like across the board, but especially and emphasizing right now, Angel Reese. Because it's been phenomenal. But to her point, as she said on Twitter, the season's not over. And the Chicago Sky are still fighting for a place in the WNBA playoffs. We got standings here. Currently they sit in 8th as of the night of September 7th. Tied for that with the Dream. And it's tight. Like, if you look at this, the Mystics have kind of come back out of nowhere and have been able to make a play for this 8th seed. And when it comes to what now for the Chicago Sky, and that is everything. Let me make this very, very clear. Everything that I'm going to say is very much easier said than done, because you just lost a major piece. You just lost your foundation of your team. You just lost the engine of your team in Angel Reese. And let me preface this by saying I'm going to make it sound much simpler than it actually is. With 6 games or so remaining in the season, I'm going to make it sound very much simpler. However, when it comes to making a shift like this late in the season, I do think there is a relatively simple solution to this, to a point. And it's something I've been saying. And if you've been tapped in on the post games, you probably know where I'm going. You got to get Kamilla Cardoso the ball. She needs more than 4 shot attempts a game. We've seen it some. She had a career high the other night, where I think I don't have the stats put up in front. I want to say it was 11 shot attempts that were put up, and she had her career high. And obviously, with Angel out, the usage rate is going to go up. And this is a time where, frankly, if the Chicago Sky don't make the playoffs, it is, and from the outside looking in, it is not the end of the world. And so you almost want to use this as a time to experiment in a way and look at what Kamilla Cardoso's solo lineups for extended minutes look like, and see maybe next season what this potential looks like. Obviously, you still want them on the court together between Angel and Kamilla, but when you stagger them and you maybe emphasize one at one time and one on the other, and figure these type of things out, I think this is a great period for this guy to be able to do this at the end of the season. I also think it's their best bet at winning. And so, regardless, I think it's a win-win scenario if you emphasize getting Kamilla the ball. Whether it's you win games, you make the playoffs, or you get a sense of what Kamilla can do for you as the lead player on this team. And like I said, it's something I've been saying. It's something I'm going to keep saying. Frankly, their schedule down the stretch, there's a couple games here that are tough, to say the least. I mean, Minnesota is a rough one. Phoenix has been kind of iffy at times. Connecticut, a rough one. And Atlanta as well. Like that. So when you get into the other games, Dallas is a couple games back, but technically still alive for the 8th seed. Washington, a game back. Atlanta, you're tied with. There are some very, very important games within this between the teams that are still left in this race. And without pulling up all the other team schedules and everything, like we're just looking at the sky. It's certainly within reach. Even I think it's possible, even if you just beat the teams that you're in the race with. If you're able to pick up one or two of those games between Minnesota, Phoenix, or Connecticut, you're probably in pretty good shape. But you got to beat the teams you're in the race with. And like I said, I truly do think that the best bet of doing that is getting Camilla the ball. So I'll be very interested in seeing what the Sky do. What's next? How do you pivot from this? And like I said, it's just so much easier said than done. Because frankly, like I have become so high on Angel's game. I didn't know coming into the W transition period. The motor and the energy those are unteachable things. You either have it or you don't. And Angel has it better than anybody. So I really wasn't worried about that. But when it came to the physicality or boxing out, like I wanted to wait and see what that looked like. And man, if I had any doubts, Angel Reese proved me wrong. And I am incredibly happy to admit that. If I had any doubts at all about the production, the rebounding, Angel Reese has proved me wrong. And there's been flashes of more things. Whether it be the 3-pointer to kind of end her season or the extension into the mid-range. You know what the focuses are going to be in the offseason. When it comes to extending the range some, improving the efficiency at the rim, these are things that are treatable. What she has right now, the intangibles that she has, she is doing things that are unteachable. So when the growth happens in the other places, just like how it is for every player, man, I mean, the trajectory that she is on is incredible. And like I said, Caitlin Clark is my Rookie of the Year. She is. That if I was a voter, I'm not a voter. If I was a voter, Caitlin Clark would get my vote. I think that she's pulled away in these last couple weeks. But if you can't acknowledge the greatness that has been Angel Reese this season, you're doing yourself a disservice as a fan of basketball, as a fan of the WNBA. You're missing out. And don't let everything that has come with the increased attention and eyes on the game, don't let that stop you from being able to be honest with the basketball you're seeing on the court. Is there flaws? Yes. Is there greatness? Absolutely. Has history been made? You know it. You can check the record books. And frankly, any and all rebounding records, I hope it's written in pencil so you can erase it, because I got a feeling there's a name you're going to be writing in pen, and over the course of her career, you're going to have some permanent marker records in there. At this rate, nobody's going to have done it better when it comes to rebounding the ball than Angel Reese. And I can't wait to see her back out on the court. I know we're going to be tapped in some Unrivaled stuff, so we're definitely going to be seeing her there. I can't wait to see what she might pick up from some of the other bigs around Unrivaled. I can't wait. And I wish her absolutely the best recovery possible. We'll kind of learn more information, I'm sure, as time goes on when it comes to timetable and whatnot. But she said herself she'll be back for Unrivaled. We'll be there ready to watch and to see how her game improves. But a little bit different video tonight, but I had to get in here and had to call the ISO and get these thoughts out of my head. This is very raw reactions, but let me know down below your thoughts on what the Sky can do going forward for the rest of the season. If you think you'll get the 8th seed, what you think of Angel's season so far, and what it was in totality for Angel Reese in her rookie campaign. And let me know if you'd like more of these ISOs from people. We can definitely start setting some more of these up if you got some topics that you want us to hit on. So make sure you check out everything down below in the description. The Substack, I know Shawnee's going to have her thoughts in 5 out tomorrow on Substack. So make sure that you are on the lookout for that when it comes to some of her takes about everything going on in women's basketball. I'm sure she will be touching on Angel Reese in that. So stay tapped in across the board Substack. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you next time.